Hello dear children, we are going to study about the ionic compounds. Okay, the compounds are formed around us into different types of compounds and into different formations. So we can see millions of compounds around us even though our body is made up of compounds. Compounds means two molecules or either the atoms of different elements or either the same elements are combined together. Okay, when they combine together or either they react chemically with each other, they form a compound. Together they form a compound. Here we have taken an example of sodium and chlorine. You see, sodium is a metal and chlorine is a non-metal. Okay, here, in the outermost orbit, you have studied inside an atom, isn't it? In an atom, there is a nucleus, and around the nucleus, there are electrons moving. So, this in the nucleus, there are protons, and these protons attract the electron. The number of protons and the electrons are same. But in the outermost orbit, some of the elements are not satisfied. Either they have duplet or either the octet. So according to that, they require to satisfy their last orbit. To complete their last orbit, they require either to give electron or either to take electron from the other element or from other atom. So usually metals, they tend to give electron and non-metals tends to receive the electron. All this give and take relationship is only because of completing their last orbit. Okay, so here sodium and chlorine, a compound is formed, sodium chloride. This compound is formed because from the last orbit, sodium gives its one electron to chlorine. Okay, sodium is having 11 electrons. Out of these 11 electrons, there are out of this 11 electron, in the last orbit there is only one electron. Okay, these are arranged according to our solar system. Electrons are arranged around the nucleus, so they are arranged in the fixed orbit. So what happens in the last orbit, sodium is having one electron, and this one, because of this one electron, it is incomplete, and to complete it, it tends to give this electron. And chlorine requires one electron to complete its last orbit. Okay, so what happens here, sodium is giving one electron to chlorine and chlorine is receiving that one electron in the last orbit. Now you could see in chlorine, last orbit is with 8 electrons here, but they form an ion. Sodium is having positive charge, extra positive charge, and chlorine gets extra negative charge. Because of sodium has lost one electron, inside the nucleus there is one proton now extra. Proton cannot leave the place and go. So sodium will carry positive charge, and in the last orbit, chlorine has got one electron from outside. Okay, and chlorine is with one negative charge. Here a compound is formed called as sodium chloride. Okay, this we use it as our salt which we use for our food substance. Okay, so now this is a carbon atom for you to show how the electrons are surrounding this carbon atom. Could see it is a three-dimension structure. Okay, so this structure which is there here, it is two-dimension where you cannot show the rings around. It is shown by two-dimension, and this is three-dimension where the electrons are moving around the nucleus, and inside the nucleus there are protons and neutrons. Okay, inside means that is a center, you could see red and blue color. So how the ionic bonds are formed, again see the sodium, how the atom of sodium, first orbit, it is having three orbits. First orbit it is having 2 electrons, second orbit it is having 8 electrons, and the third orbit it is having 1 electron. That 1 electron it wants to lose because it wants to become complete with the 8 electrons. So no other element like could give 7 electrons to sodium. So it is better for the sodium to lose that one electron. And chlorine, it requires one electron to complete its last orbit, that we call it as octet. Okay, so that last orbit with the 8 electrons are called as octet, or if the last orbit with 2 electrons, we call it as duplet. So chlorine receives one electron from sodium, and sodium becomes positively charged and chlorine becomes negatively charged. Okay, why sodium becomes positive charge? Because it is losing one electron and proton becomes extra there, and chlorine is negatively charged because it is receiving one electron more. So now this type of bond where electron is given and other atom receives that electron, so that type of bond is formed in between the sodium and chlorine. They will not leave each other and go. So that bond is called as ionic bond. Here you could see, here sodium and fluorine it is. Okay, instead of chlorine we have taken sodium and fluorine. Again you could see sodium is giving its one electron to fluorine. Okay, and now sodium is with one positive charge and fluorine is with one negative charge. Here sodium and chlorine, you could see ionic bond. Sodium is giving its one electron to chlorine, and then chlorine becomes negatively charged and sodium becomes positively charged, and that bond which is formed because of negative and positive charge of two atoms, that bond is called as ionic bond. Ionic bond is formed because of give and take of electrons. Okay, sodium is giving and chlorine is taking. This is only one example. Like that, many ionic bond and ionic compounds are there. So NaCl, sodium chloride, we call it as it is an ionic compound because it is been formed because of give and take of electron. Now from here, who gives the electron? That is the metals, and who takes the electrons? Those are the non-metals. So metals gives the electron, non-metals receives the electron. Here you could see a magnesium chloride. Magnesium is 1 and chlorine are 2. Now in the outermost orbit of magnesium, it is having 2 electrons extra. To complete its outermost orbit, it wants to give these 2 electrons. So as chlorine comes, chlorine requires only 1 electron. As per the valency of chlorine, it requires 1 electron. So naturally, when magnesium is giving 2 electrons, so naturally 2 chlorine atoms will take this or receive this electron. 1 electron will be received by one atom of chlorine and another electron will be received by another atom of chlorine. So here you could see the formula of magnesium chloride, MgCl2. Okay, magnesium 1 atom and chlorine 2 atom. So the formula here of this compound becomes MgCl2, magnesium chloride. Here again the same thing, same picture, sodium chloride. Sodium 1 atom, chlorine 1 atom. And here what happens? Magnesium 1 atom, chlorine 2 atom. Why 2 atoms of chlorine? Because magnesium wants to donate 2 electrons. And chlorine receives this. One chlorine receives 1 electron, here you could see, and another chlorine will receive another electron. So the compound formed here is called as magnesium chloride. Sodium chloride, as you take 1 grain of salt or 1 pinch of salt, in that many molecules, NaCl, that is sodium chloride, is 1 molecule, Na1 and Cl1 is 1 molecule. How they are arranged you see in the substance, in the salt. Okay, positive, wherever sodium is there, it will be surrounded by chlorine, and wherever chlorine is there, it will be surrounded by sodium. So this way it is arranged in our container, in our dabbas. Okay, so that is the salt. So 1 pinch or either 1 tiny grain of salt contains many molecules. Okay, that is thousands of these molecules of sodium chloride. Next is the aluminum chloride. You could see Here for aluminium to give the electrons, aluminium requires to give 3 electrons and chlorine requires to take only 1 electron. So when aluminium is giving 3 electrons, what chlorine will do? Each chlorine will come and take that 1 electron from aluminium. Okay, so then it will become, see the formula how it will become, AlCl3. Al is aluminium 1 atom and Cl chlorine is 3 atoms. So the formula will become AlCl3, aluminium chloride. Here is a covalent bond. We are going to talk about a covalent bond. What covalent bond is? Here give and take relation doesn't come. Here sharing of the electrons. Okay, here two hydrogen atom you could see. They have one electron in the last orbit and they require to complete that duplet. Duplet means in their orbit they want 2 electrons. Okay, so they cannot give this 1 electron and become empty. They want 1 more electron. So another hydrogen atom, if it comes, what will happen? They will share their electron. So see what happens here. In both of their orbits they will receive these 2 electrons and they will share these electron and keep on happily. So this type of bond which is formed because of sharing of electron is called as covalent bond. And that type, the first type what we have studied is the ionic bond. It is formed because of give and take of electron, and covalent bond is formed because of sharing of electron. So covalent bond you could see hydrogen atom, one hydrogen atom and the another hydrogen atom, it will join together and its 2 electrons will be shared in their orbits. So one hydrogen atom is getting 2 electrons and the another hydrogen atom also getting 2 electrons. This is called as sharing of electron and a bond is formed in between. That bond is called as covalent bond. Covalent bond is of hydrogen, you could see chlorine also Cl2, methane CH4, one carbon and hydrogen 4, water. These are all covalent bonds. What happens here? They are formed because of sharing of electrons and you will find they get attached. These atoms get attached to each other without going apart from each other. Okay. So the formula here becomes H2Cl2, methane you could see CH4, carbon is 1 and hydrogen 4 because carbon is having 4 electrons in its outermost orbit and it requires 4 electrons to complete its last orbit. Water also the same thing, H2O. See the formula of water, why it is H2O, 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen. Formula of methane CH4, why it is CH4, C is 1 and H is 4 atoms. So ionic compounds and the covalent compounds we have studied, ionic bond and covalent bond. Ionic bond is formed because of give and take of electrons and covalent bond is formed because of sharing of electrons. Okay, so here one example of ionic compound is given, that is NaCl, and covalent it is H2O. So ionic bonds are very strong bonds. They are formed because of sharing of atoms and they have very strong attraction in between them. Okay, the force of attraction is very strong and they cannot be separated easily from each other. And covalent bonds are not so strong, they are weak bonds. Okay, so non-metallic elements tends to form covalent bond. If non-metallic elements are there together, they form the covalent bonds. Like hydrogen, oxygen, these are non-metallic. Chlorine is non-metallic. Carbon and hydrogen is non-metallic. Non-metallic means they are non-metals. And metallic elements, they form the ionic bonds. So ionic bond is formed between the metals and non-metals. So you have to read the lesson. We have completed this part. So read the lesson and find out the question answers.